people, lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for the London Club's Carnage show, and I'm getting absolutely grilled in the chat, Corey. Grilled.
You're getting pelters, mate. You're getting pelters.
Listen, people, apologies. You know I don't like to change the times of the shows, and I understand you guys are in different time zones, but if I start at 12, then really it would have just been me and Corey today, because we couldn't get a hold of Toby earlier this morning, and Lee can't do it either. So it would have just been us two. So I decided to delay it to try and have more of us on the show. I think Toby's coming in soon. I think he's just wrapping up on KG's channel now. So yeah, apologies guys. If I do change the times and it's a group, it's usually to try and make sure we get as many people here as possible. But you man are out here protesting like you're in Westminster right now. Look at this fam. Going nuts. Corey, how you doing today, my brother?
I'm good, bro. Yeah. No, I'm a little bit bored, to be fair. Like we touched on it before, and like I do want to get back into the Prem season. Like I'm getting my season ticket on Wednesday for West Ham, so Europa League nights are coming up for me, mate. But yeah, other than that, I'm sweet as.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, man? There's a decent amount to talk about. Obviously, we had yesterday's games, which was quite entertaining. Today's fixtures are quite entertaining as well. And we were just talking off camera about, we wish Lee was here today because Lee can't make it today. But Ben White to Arsenal looks like he's about to get wrapped up. And they're about to do a potential clear out at the Emirates as well. I've seen like loads of players linked with moves away. Xhaka to Roma, Guendouzi out to Marseille, Bellerin, they've been trying to flog for how many years? So it looks like a cleansing moment after an alcoholic night out. What do you make of the clear out over there?
What, an alcoholic decade? No, they've had a problem, mate. They've had a problem for years with trying to get some of that deadwood out. We said to Lee last week, I think Guendouzi, to let him go for that cheap is a little bit cheap. I think Arteta's got a bit of a problem because he doesn't want Saliba in, I don't think. Doesn't want Guendouzi in. And they brought those players to kind of take over from the likes of Xhaka and bring him into the fold. And now that's bombed and Arteta wants them out. So it's probably best for them just to wipe the slate clean. I've seen stuff saying they're going to spend 250 mil this summer. I'd be shocked if they managed to do that. And what makes me laugh as well, and Lee might be quite happy with this, is that if they don't progress by October, Arteta will have to go if they spend that amount of money. Look what happened to Frank Lampard. He was gone by January. So no different trajectories. You're a much bigger club at the minute than Arsenal. But yeah, no, I think fair play to Arsenal. I think Ben White's a good signing. 50 mil is a bit excessive, but I think when David Luiz has gone out the door, you need someone to bring in.
Yeah, Kevin Fraser with the traditional champions of Europe. We know what we are. I never get bored of it, Kevin. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I understand Lee's viewpoint in terms of maybe not being that impressed, but to improve Arsenal's defense, it's not going to take much, especially if Saliba's not going to be used, which to me shocks me because he was nicknamed the defender of Mbappe, the Mbappe defender. Or the defender of Mbappe.
That went well.
The Mbappe of defenders, sorry. And then he went out on loan, which was kind of surprising to me because you had Holding, you had Chambers, and David Luiz is aging. Only really Gabriel, who I think has got a decent ceiling or a high ceiling in terms of the projections. And then they loan out Saliba. So then Saliba's coming back now, but I don't know what the plan is with him because I don't know if him and Arteta are going to see eye to eye or what's going on there, why he was loaned in the first place and not used. And then to bring in Ben White, I mean, it's a ball-playing centre-back. Do you know what I mean? It's a ball-playing centre-back from Brighton. He's like 23 or 24, I think, in the England squad. And I think it is a bit expensive, but we know the market, bro. It's inflated as hell. You can't really get value for money. Look at what you're trying to charge us for Declan.
But this is why I say what I say, though, because in isolation, we all talk about football players like this is what they're worth. And that's one thing, thinking that. There's another thing with the market at the minute, which is mad. If you've got Grealish going for 100 mil down the road and Ben White for 50, kind of only feels right that the valuation that I want Declan Rice to leave at is between 70, 80. So it's a mad old market. We know English tax is added on all the time. So it just is what it is, man. But it's a good signing for them. It is a good signing. I didn't think he put a foot wrong, to be honest, in the two friendlies, Ben White. I actually thought he performed better than some of the centre-backs. So, yeah, no, I think they got themselves a little bit of a good signing there for 2, 3, 4 years, maybe.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting because at the end of the day, the manager can dictate a defensive structure and set up a lot more than any individual can. We've seen it with maybe Pep and Ruben Diaz. Definitely at Chelsea, I've seen it with Rudiger and Christensen and some other players that we weren't too sure on in January. And suddenly the manager comes in and it kind of just propels the team to another level. I'm sure even maybe, I don't know, defensively, have you been impressed with what you've seen under David Moyes as well?
Yeah, massively. It sort of went off a bit of a cliff at the end of the season because we changed the formation a little bit and we started scoring a lot more goals. But no, he definitely came in and that's the one sort of constant positive for David Moyes is we've always been defensively solid until we just let that handbrake off a little bit to try and get to 6th place, and we were shipping 3 goals every week, which was nasty, mate. And I'm glad it's all over.
Look, you and Toby, who's about to join us in a sec, you guys are enjoying this break. No Premier League football, just nice, isolation, the Euros. Me, myself, I'm missing it. Do you know what I mean? Toby, you trying to get me killed today?
Why? What did I do? What did I do?
Fam, I was trying to holler you, brothers. Like, I only just woke up. I was like, my chat is going to kill me today.
Yeah, they can wait, man. They can wait. It's good content that they'll wait for, man. Come on, let's be real. Euros don't start until 5 p.m. today, so it's not like they got anything better to do. Listen, they went into church. They've come back home now. Now they can eat their lunch and watch the stream, innit? Simple.
How you been, brother? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I need to book something. I think for the England-Germany game, I feel like I need to be out for that, out on the piss. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like
you out on the piss. You mean with your fruit shoots and your Capri Suns?
Do you know what? Yeah, we obviously need to drink now. I need to see what you're like in your domain now. I need to see if you can handle it. If you can handle your liquor as much as you say you can. This super chat as well saying Matt Hancock is available to manage Spurs.
Yeah, I saw that. I've seen that joke like 1 trillion times in the last 24 hours. It's funny, but like when you hear it for like the umpteenth time again, it just loses its buzz, really. So yeah.
And Kevin as well, Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. I mean, we were just talking about obviously Ben White to Arsenal and just really the whole restructuring of Arsenal. There's no lead today, but still give our opinions as rival fans for the London show. I mean, what do you make of Ben White to Arsenal for 50 million? Because now it seems like it's actually going to happen. Before, it was just swiftly rejected. Now I think it seems to be gathering a bit of pace now that they've put the money up front.
It's a sense of confusion. I don't think Ben White is a bad player, and I think he's really good on the ball. But I feel like that amount of money is being spent in the wrong place for me. Like, it's not even to say that they don't need a centre back, because Arsenal still aren't really like levels defensively. But I think they've got Saliba there, who had a really good second half of the season in France. They got Gabriel, who by all accounts had a good first season for them. And yeah, I get that you want another piece, but does that piece have to be 50 million when you have literally like 3 central midfielders once all your sales are going to be done this summer, when you have no good right back whatsoever, when you have the need for another wide man as well, when you have the need for another number 10 as well? Like, it's weird to me. It's weird to me. Ben White is not worth 50 million. But listen, I guess the deal is going to go ahead now. So let's see what he can do for Arsenal.
He is going to improve them, though, isn't he? Straight away, I think, because Holding and Chambers are just not wouldn't be.
Yeah, Holding, Chambers, and Pablo Mari. I think he'll perform better than all three, and I think he's better than all three on the ball. Someone was saying that maybe they're looking for him to be like the Luiz replacement, and that could be a point, because they don't really have, now that Luiz is gone, they don't really have a centre back who can pass out from the back as well as David Luiz, and I think Ben White could potentially offer them that, but do you really have to spend 50 million for that?
Clearly you do in this market.
Yeah, that's why it's 80 mil for Declan Rice. Ben White's going for 50, man.
We ain't splashing that money after. No chance we splashing 80 on Rice. Even that price come down and we need to go somewhere else. Nowhere I want to see that.
Bro, if Rice is going for 80 mil, fam, I'm switching to bulgur wheat or couscous, man.
Basmati, fam. Basmati rice is good though. I don't know why they nickname him that on Twitter, because I like basmati rice. It's not. Same. I don't really get it, but I must say, like you said, it's going to take a lot to restructure Arsenal Football Club, because there's just a lot of holes and gaps in their team. Like you said, the midfield. I think there is a gap at centre back, but I would like to see Saliba after all this hype. But I don't know what's going to happen there. Right back, like you said,
centre backs, man.
Do you know what it is about right back? This is a position they should have sealed up years ago. Like the fall of Bellerin has been a long time coming. Do you know what I mean? It's not been suddenly just a drop-off season or something. This has been a position that I felt like they've been weak in for ages. And the fact that they've taken so long to do it now, all their problems just, when you just leave all your issues until the end of the week at work, And then now it's just like all piling up now, piling up. And that's basically what's happened at Arsenal. They've allowed all of their issues. They've gone with like quick fixes, whether that be, you know, Willian on a free, David Luiz on a free. And then it's all just piled up now. And sales-wise, I don't know how much money you're going to get for your players, but at least they've tied up new contracts for Tierney. I think Smith Rowe is another one coming as well. So it should be interesting to see. I'm not going to lie, there's no news from a Chelsea perspective. I don't think, I mean, apart from Hakimi going to PSG, which is, you know.
You're upset, mate. He got to you. You wanted him bad, didn't you? You thought he was coming to Chelsea.
I'm not going to lie.
To Europe.
I didn't think he was coming, yeah. I did think he was coming. And I was starting to get even more excited because I was starting to think tactically what we could do with him and just the extra dynamics and things that he would bring to the team on that right-hand side. It was just starting to all click, and then he just goes to PSG. Maybe, I don't know, apparently his wife kind of forced him over there. She's got family in France or whatever, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? We can. It's not a priority, but it would have been a nice bonus. West Ham, I haven't seen anything going on transfer-wise. There's nothing going on, is there?
No, it's dead, mate. It's so dead. It's just a load of, you know, when you see the rumours where they go, we're just sort of engaging interest in players. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, do you send an email? Do you ring them up and say what's going on? To me, that means absolutely nothing until I can see concrete talks going on. And it's just disappointing, mate. Like, I think because of the Euros, our two big targets are Lingard and Abraham. So you've heard nothing about
40 mil, 40 M's is going to be for Abraham, I'm hearing.
Well, Aston Villa are interested. If Aston Villa come in and they want to spend it, they'll spend it over us. They'll get Abraham. So that's a little bit of a concern now. The Lingard thing, apparently he's going to sign a 3-year deal with United. So even if he wants to leave, to try and get him out of there is going to be a nightmare because he's going to be on 130k a week.
That's so silly from Jesse Lingard. I'm not going to lie. Like, you've literally gone away from there to prove that like you can still cut it at the Premier League. Why would you? I know it's Man United, but I'm sure West Ham can offer him. I thought, how much will you lot offer him in wages? Because I'm sure you lot can pay his.
We can match it. I think we because we've got Felipe Anderson going out the door. I think he's going back to Lazio. He's on about 120k a week. So that straight away, that's his wage.
Yeah, you got money to throw in it. Damn.
Mate, honestly, the worst thing is
Anderson is on 120 bags a week.
You know what it is with West Ham? They love their attacking midfielders. I'm telling you, they love a good.
Do you remember when Pellegrini come in and in that win we bought Anderson, Yarmolenko. Yarma's on, I think he's on more than Anderson. He's on 130. And we literally spent 80 mil on Allaire and Anderson, and we're going to get back probably 29, 30 mil. Yeah, it's disgusting business. It actually makes you feel a little bit ill. So someone put on the super chat about Milinkovic. I think he's at Fiorentina. So we'll probably take that money and then whack it on him. But why we want a centre back so desperately ahead of a striker or even a number 10 is a little bit. It's a bit odd for me, or even a normal defensive.
I feel like every window you brothers are chasing number 10s. Honestly, it's so weird to me.
So I love number 10s. Like
West Ham definitely do love their number 10s.
That's the only area that and centre back where we're quite decent in.
How many good ones have they had in the last like 5-6 years?
Payet was my favourite one that you had. He was unbelievable.
I think it was something someone was saying. It was six years ago yesterday that he signed for the club. 10 mil. Even for that season, he was just
Lanzini, Felipe Anderson, Yarmolenko. Who else have you had in that role? Even Jack Wilshere you brought back as well.
To be fair, we've had some absolute garbage, mate, as well. Like we've had some proper clangers probably after there. So, but it's because man Pellegrini loved the number 10. He just loved them, and then he left, and then we were stuck with Moisey, and he doesn't really like him. So,
I must say as well, there's this stupid, outlandish rumor which I'm not even going to give too much smoke to, but I'm only going to say it because it was put in the chat, which is Reece James to Man City. I don't know what kind of Bundesliga think they're where they are, but it's just not how it works.
That doesn't even make sense. They've got Cancelo and Walker. Like, what?
Do you know what? Do you know why? The only reason why, because if it was reported by a terrible source, I would not have even given it any. I wouldn't even said it. But because it was reported by the Athletic, I was like, really? You guys really needed to be told that Reece James is indispensable.
Who reported that from?
I'm not sure the individual. It just came out as like the Athletic bundle. So I guess no one really wants to put their name to it. So they just put the Athletic. No one wants to take ownership of the rumor. I thought it was absurd when I seen it. I was like, there's absolutely no way. You know, there's certain players at your club that are just indispensable, especially when you're competing as well. That you're just like even at Man United, you know, your Scholes is your gigs. They were just never going to leave. Certain players just never going to go.
Players like Reece James and Mason Mount, they're unicorns for you lot now because their academy prospects, their academy products, which obviously help you in terms of Premier League registration rules, Champions League squad registration rules, and they're really good players. I say really good; they're good players. They're good players. They're young. They're developing, and they can improve. And they're first teamers as well. It doesn't really make sense to me why Chelsea would sell. I don't get that.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Apparently with Simon Johnson, actually. Okay, interesting. Yeah, there's no legs to it. I think Chelsea have already come out and said there's no way that's happening. So, state the obvious there. But I mean, the only real, talking point continuing with the clubs is Tottenham's ever search for a manager. Nuno.
Yeah.
Apparently. Fam, I mean, where are we now with this Tottenham saga? Because it's surely you guys have got to get a manager in before pre-season starts, which is not that far away. I've seen you linked with Nuno now.
Yeah.
Do you think do you think that's close to happening? Are you? I'm not going to say excited because I don't think you are excited about Nuno, but are you at least happy with it if it happens?
No, I'm not happy with it. No. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna labor over the reasons, but I'll just try and summarize it as much as possible without attacking Nuno too much. Because caveats before I say what I want to say. I do not think Nuno Espirito Santo is a bad manager. I respect everything he's done at Wolves, and I respect his hustle. I respect the fact that he got a championship team to consecutive 7th spot finishes, obviously with the necessary investment. But Nuno, good organization defensively. But what solutions does he bring to our current situation now, apart from the fact that he's just a man in the job? Like the issues we had with Jose Mourinho, where we'd have some games where we're asking for the team to take their foot, to put their foot on the gas. Nuno is not the manager that's going to do that. He is literally like a Mourinho light. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only he doesn't have the player pool. He's not as good as Mourinho, let's be real, as a manager. Not just historically. I'm saying present day, I don't think he's a better manager than Jose Mourinho as well. So I'm just thinking to myself, what problems does Nuno Espirito Santo solve at Spurs? And
getting the best out of Mark Doherty, I guess.
Someone's got to, haven't they?
Is that enough of a reason to get Nuno? Really?
We used to bring in managers to get the best out of Fernando Torres all the time. Rafa Benitez, Morales.
What happened?
It didn't work, mate.
What happened? He still stank out the joint.
Won the Champions League, mate.
No, this old Chester. He won the Champions League because he scored a fucking empty goal that anyone would have scored. Flipping hell. Oh no, wait, let me not lie. Oh, he won the corner that got us to
everything counts. Every little helps, bro. You know how Tesco slogan, do you know what I mean? Every little helps, bro.
But yeah, Nuno Espirito Santo, decent coach, and I think he should definitely be in the looking for other jobs like Everton and stuff like that. But I want a better manager at Spurs. In fact, it's not even a better manager. I want a different manager at Spurs because I don't think the names that we could get instead of Nuno may necessarily be better than him, but I think they could coach the club better than Nuno. I just think his style is not conducive to what we're trying to go for. But we as fans,
do you think given better players, he might shock you?
We say this though with better players, but look at the players he had at Wolves. Moutinho, Neves, Jimenez, what's his name as well? Dendoncker, Podence, Neto, Patricio. Like, let's not beat around the bush. Wolves have had investment, and Wolves have had a squad capable of stylistically playing better than what they've shown. They've been a predominantly counter-attacking side, but they have the player. They have the players to play a possession-based game. They even have Conor Cody is one of the best passing centre backs in the league. We've seen it time and time again. Yet we don't really see Wolves play ball like that. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, there's multiple ways to skin a cat. Nuno's way worked for him. The pragmatic counter-attacking based approach, it worked for them. But when it was time to switch it up, we couldn't see it. We couldn't really see him switch it up. And that's my worry. I hate managers who aren't adaptable, who there's no qualms having a plan A, but when you can't tweak your plan A under duress, That's where I have an issue. Jose Mourinho, for instance, when we lost Harry Kane, the guy was still trying to play as if we had a target man up top. Wolves, when they lost Jimenez, Nuno's still trying to play like they have a target man up top. They're playing Fabio Silva and expecting him to play with his back to go and bring others into play.
He's only 18 as well. I remember when they brought him in, I thought that's a lot of pressure you're putting him under. I think their plan was to ease him in, but
true. And I get it. It's hard. You lost Jimenez for the whole season, but honestly, tough times never last. Tough people do. Do you get what I'm saying? Tough time never lasts. Tough people do. And when you're in tough times, the top managers, they make alternative solutions. True. Graham Potter was literally without half a season with Ben Lamptey. Did you see Brighton's attacking play from the right or left suffer as a result of it? No, not really. Not really. Maybe you can talk about the impact that Lamptey would have had, but did their attacking football suffer because of such an outlet in Lamptey being missing? No, it didn't. Did Wolves' attacking play suffer when Jimenez was injured? Of course, expected
massively. Yeah.
There was no change. There was no appetite for me to even try and play a different way. So for me, I know the type of manager he is, and I can foresee the complaints. I have them in my brain right now. I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen because we've been in this situation with Jose Mourinho. Yeah. So why the club can't see that? Why Paratici can't see that is beyond me. I don't get it.
Do you know what I've realized from your manager shortlist and targets is that your Daniel Levy appears to have absolutely no plan for the future in terms of where he wants the club to go in terms of style of play, manager ethos, direction, principles.
Isn't that why I brought a director of football in though? Is he going to take over?
He just got there. Yeah, he just got there though, didn't he? I don't really know what he wants. Apparently rumored that he wants 3 at the back to be the system.
He's moving brazy, whatever he wants. He's moving fucking brazy.
You're not impressed already.
I'm not impressed, and I had hopes for this guy, but obviously we've not been able to see what he can do for us in terms of player signings because we don't have a manager who he can then work with in terms of players. But the managers, Gattuso, Nuno, how does this fit that bullshit that Daniel Levy was talking about when he was like, "Oh, we lost our way and we're trying to get back to the club's DNA, which is free flowing attack." All this bullshit and lip service for Spurs, I'm absolutely sick of it.
Yeah, it's nuts. The shortlist is nuts. Gattuso, Conte to Ten Hag. Ten Hag and Conte couldn't be the more polar opposites. So the fact that you even had those two on your shortlist tells me your club have absolutely no idea what direction they're going in. Ten Hag and Conte are polar opposites in football in every single way, from top to bottom, from transfer approach to style of play to bringing through youth, everything, just completely different ethoses. And there's this funny rumor that's been going around as well. I mean, that I guess Arsenal. I mean, Fabio Fabrizio Romano already denounced this as not true in terms of Camavinga to Arsenal, and there's not even a sniff of it happening. And then for some reason he's been linked with Man United. My personal opinion on Camavinga is that he should probably just stay one more year at Rennes, to be honest. I don't think he should even move to the Premier League right now. He didn't have the greatest of seasons with Rennes. He said so himself. I think he should just sit tight and just have a great season, be the star man in the team, then come over to whatever league afterwards. But we'll see what happens there.
His one is an interesting one as well, because how old is he? Like 17, 18?
He's not 17. I think he might be 18, 19.
Yeah. So I don't really have an opinion on Camavinga because I don't watch him week in, week out. So I know he's meant to be talented, etc., but I'm not going to pretend as if I'm watching every single Rennes game. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like the teams he's been linked with, like Arsenal and stuff like that, like these teams, they require a dominant presence now who can be reliable throughout. I just think putting that much pressure on an 18-year-old it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So I do actually agree with you. Maybe another season in League On wouldn't hurt him. It really wouldn't.
This is his last year of his contract, apparently.
Look what happened to Renato Sanches when he went to Bayern Munich.
He's a beast.
He came over very young.
The other day he was absolutely super.
Unbelievable.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah. Like he can dribble. He's got a good engine. He's strong.
He gave Kante problems. That was the thing that got me. He was literally using his body against Kante. I was thinking, geez, you're going up against him. And he was just passing as well.
Low sense of gravity, isn't it?
Yeah. As far as I don't start him, I think it's a bit weird. If you had a player like that on your bench, you'd throw him in.
It's the manager that keeps playing flipping Danilo and William Carvalho. I don't like that. I don't like him. I don't like Santos. I know he won the Euros, but that was the most fraudulent Fugazi Euros win I've seen in a long time. Fraudulent. They weren't even in the top 5 best sides I watched at that tournament, and they won the competition. 3 draws in the group stages, shithousing your way through the knockout competitions. It was only against I think it was only against flipping I think it was Poland and Wales, where I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, you did your thing. Should have lost to Croatia, should have lost to France.
Yeah.
Should have lost.
I remember when how old was Sanchez when he came to Swansea on loan? He was quite young, wasn't he?
He's like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah,
he got the Bayern move way too early, and where they didn't play him, and then he went on loan to a team that didn't really have a style at that point in time. Swansea were in free fall. Let's be honest. Like,
yeah,
they had who did they have? They had who was that joke manager they had? Like Guidolin.
Was it not Gary Monk?
No, that was after Gary Monk. I think they had like Guidolin, and they had my man, the American guy, Bob Bradley. Remember him? Yeah. Like they were in.
My days, yeah.
Even Tammy Abraham went there, and he was drowning. He's
drowning. Yeah, I remember.
And Tammy was bad there. He was bad there, but like credit to him. Like I thought he was dusted. I'm not dusted, but I thought like him getting back to a club like Bayern Munich seemed a long, long way away. But like he's patched up his career, and he actually looks. I think the regular football and the faith put on him has done him a world of good, and he actually looks a really good player now. Like I love those type of number 8s who can just dribble with the ball, dribble with the ball. His passing, it's okay.
It could be improved.
But like I
it's
love
the way that he attracts players to him. Do you know what I mean? He gravitates players to him, and then it opens up space for others. If he can wiggle his way out of a couple players, suddenly now the next man who's maybe less talented has got way more space than he would have had if he wasn't on the pitch. So it's an underrated trait having these dribblers in midfield now these days. Really is. Yeah. But I think he's a potential good example of someone like Camavinga, who probably should just keep the regular football up, not play under this massive pressure of the Premier League right now, especially when you're that young. And he hasn't come, like I said, he hasn't come off the best season. I think the main reason why everybody's after him is mainly because of the contract running down, like everyone said there. Paul Clement, Sir Daddy says, was the guy. Yeah. Yeah, I think Swansea were going through a period there. They used to play good football, Swansea. Was it under Brendan Rodgers, was it?
Oh, mate, Brendan Rodgers. Lovely football.
It was Brendan Rodgers, Laudrup, and then for a little bit as well, Monk as well. And then, it just went to pot, really.
Where did you brothers pull these rumors out from? Seriously, I really want to know where you brothers pull these rumors out from.
They're in financial trouble, though, aren't they? Is it Lille? They're struggling. So
the French market,
the French league as a whole, they're struggling financially. So you're going to see a lot of quick fire sales. So I think Renato Sanches would be a really good pickup for a club like Arsenal, United. Teams who need like well-rounded central midfielders who can do a bit of everything and are comfortable on the ball. Like I think they need those type of athletes who can also possess technical quality as well. So teams should be sniffing. They should be sniffing around for him, to be honest.
Before we move on to the games that happened yesterday, and obviously big game today, which I'm buzzing for. Can't wait for that. I mean, Harry Kane, obviously, £100 million bid from Man City, apparently. Don't know if it was confirmed. I know the Grealish thing wasn't confirmed in the end. I think that was just smoke and mirrors. But there's obviously interest there. I mean, with the managers that you're looking at, it feels... I mean, what do you think Harry Kane's stance is going to be when he finishes the Euros? Do you think he's going to really push for this move? Or do you think he'll probably just try and be as professional and coy with it as he can be? That's really what will decide if he stays or goes, isn't it, really, do you think?
He's not going to come out. He won't come out. I don't think he'll come out and be like, oh, if you don't sell me, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. But I think after the Euros, I think in a respectful way, he will formally like push for a move. Like I think he will speak to Daniel Levy and say, look, I wanna I want to move. I want to leave the club. And I'm sure don't ask me why, but I already think he's had some of these conversations with Daniel Levy in the past. I think he probably had conversations with Daniel Levy last summer. I think he had conversations with Daniel Levy at some point throughout at some point this season as well. Like, it shouldn't be a shock to Spurs that Harry Kane would want to leave the club. And I think those leaks that we saw a while back when Sky Sports was saying he's handing the transfer request and Alistair Gold shut it down and stuff, that only happens when people from his camp, in my opinion, are leaking stuff to the press. Like, there's no smoke without fire. When have you ever heard in the past that Harry Kane has handed in a transfer request? I know Sky are big on baiting Spurs fans and stuff, and most of the stuff that they print out on Kane is horseshit. But no Spurs fan can honestly look at me with a straight face and tell me that Harry Kane truly doesn't want to leave Spurs. You'd be lying to yourselves. You'd be lying to yourselves. So I think he will address his desire to leave Spurs formally, whether that's him handing the transfer request or signing a letter. I don't care. In my head, he wants to lead the team, and it's up to Man City to come in and make a bid. Simple. If they want him, they have to come and make a bid that basically means that we have no choice but to sell him, because you best believe that we are not going to get shortchanged for our best player, our potentially, in fact, definitely our best ever Premier League player, and the best English player and top 2 striker on the planet. You better believe we're not going to come in and accept no fucking half-assed Ponzi 80 million bid plus first refusal on players who don't even want to join our club. Like, it's not going to happen. Never going to happen.
So what do you think it's going to take then? That was going to be my lead-up question.
150 million. If
150 up front.
Up front, bro. Up front. In fact, you know what? Maybe not up front, but the majority guaranteed, and then the rest in installments, whatever. But if you're not coming with 150 million, there's no conversation to be had. It's that simple. We don't have to sell Harry Kane. People need to get this through their heads. We do not have to sell Harry Kane this summer. It doesn't matter if he wants to leave. He's not going to throw his toys out of the pram, and he signed a 6-year contract. The club have let him down in that regard because we've not matched his expectations or ambition. Yeah. But in the end of the day, the club is the club. It's a football club. It's a business. And he is an employee with 3 years left in his deal. We don't have to sell Harry Kane if the offer does not meet our expectations. We don't have to do it. We've been in this situation with players in the past, and we've dug our heels in. That's what people need to realize. So, yeah, go on.
People are saying he's 28. I mean, Corey, I personally don't think that matters.
No, it's irrelevant.
His games played.
He's right. He's one of the. It's bang on. Like, Spurs don't have to sell him, so you demand exactly what you feel that he's worth, and you don't have to, jinx your own price tag of him just because Man City want him. It's not how it works. It's the same for me with Declan or any of our players. You pay what we think he is. He's our asset, and you come in and spend the money, and that's the position that they should take. The only thing I'd say is that, again, I know Toby's saying that he doesn't expect Harry Kane to hand in a transfer request, but I do wonder how far down the line he might start to say, if you're not going to let me go, then I'm going to have to force the issue. Because I do get the impression from him that he does want to leave. He's not going to throw his toys out the pram.
He definitely wants to leave, yeah.
Yeah, because he needs to, let's be honest, he needs to win trophies. He's way too good to go for a career without winning something. He's unbelievable. So, yeah, I think if Tottenham want to go and sell him for, get your 150 mil for him, because that's what they'll need. And that's it's vitally important for Tottenham to get that, because the rebuild that they need on that squad is quite a fair bit. So, yeah, fair play to them.
100%. It's just, you just got to look at it this way, yeah. The club have never been in a worse position right now in the last 6 or 7 years. The last time we were this bad was under Sherwood and AVB. Like, we were horrible.
Only now, bad. Yeah.
Only now, we've got a stadium, £1 billion stadium over our heads. Yes, the debt is manageable. Yes, the money's going to be coming in when COVID is no longer a thing, etc., and full capacity stadiums are open, etc., etc. But the club it's bleeding money. It's bleeding money, and then to add to the fact, like Corey said, we have so many parts of our team that are still washed up, no good, that need to be sold. And we need to bring in new players, not just a plethora of like talent, not like 6-7 players, but we need to bring in genuine good players. And bringing in genuine good players, whether it's free, whether it's for, it costs money.
Yeah.
And we are not a club that are backed by our owners. We spend what we make. So if you expect us to sell our best player for a cut price, you've got another thing coming. Like, honestly, people seem to think that they know Daniel Levy. People seem to think that we'll be pressured to sell because it's a pandemic. Get it through your heads. This is Harry Kane.
Yeah.
This ain't flipping Ericsson. This ain't Eric Dyer. This is literally our best player.
It's literally your meat and your mash. This is your whole dinner. Because when he goes, not only are you never going to be able to improve on him, but the drop off, I think, is going to be huge.
It's going to be. It's ridiculous. Like, we finished 7th.
Irreplaceable.
Off of him having one of his best ever seasons. Off of Son having his best ever season. His best ever season for Spurs. What do people think it's going to be like if we sell him and we don't get the adequate funds that a player of his caliber warrants?
You're going to be stuffed, mate. Absolutely stuffed.
Corey's looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet he is. He wants another season where West Ham win the finish above Spurs trophy.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Do you know who could be
Put
a good
it on
replacement?
a mantelpiece up there.
Do you know who could be a good replacement for Kane is Goldberg. I've been scouting him the whole Euros.
Behave, Matisse. You're one of them. You're one of them that watches him once and says, "Bang on, bring him in."
Someone mentioned a name to me the other day, and someone's just put it in the comments as well. I've been bigging up Danny Ings. I want Spurs to sign Danny Ings. If Harry Kane, even if Harry Kane isn't sold, I want Tottenham to sign Danny Ings. I don't care about his injuries. I think if you get Danny Ings for 28, 29 games in a season, he's going to get you goals. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's going to get you goals. And another player who someone's mentioned to me, Dusan Vlahovic for Fiorentina, 21-year-old striker. He looks a player. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I've not watched him extensively, but from what I've seen of him, he looks a player. And he just came off a really good season for Fiorentina as well. And he's young as well. And it's not just that he's young and he's got scope for improvement. He's young, but he looks like he's a good player right now. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, if we sell Harry Kane, we can't just get one striker. You have to get 2 strikers. We already need another striker now. So if you sell Harry Kane, minimum, you have to get 2 strikers.
Yeah,
2 good strikers as well.
I think this is very much similar to I was going to say our model with the Hazard situation. There's a few other clubs that have sold big players. When you get rid of a Kane, you've got to improve your whole squad to try and make up for it. You've got to try and balance out your whole team, not make it so one-dimensional in terms of who you fixate on. Son is a very good team player as well. So I think that's the first guy. He seems like he's going to sign a new contract, which still shocks me to this day, but it is what it is. And then it really is about patting up the rest of that front three. But I mean, Corey, did you watch that Denmark game? Because bloody hell.
Yeah, they got pasted.
This team is on smoke.
No, they got pasted, Wales. They were top. Do you know, they've really impressed me, actually, just in terms of the way that they play. And obviously everyone brings up 20 minutes in, Christensen goes into midfield and Wales don't get a sniff. But is it MAH? He's an absolute player as that wing back. And he cuts in for that, I think it was a third goal, and then just spanks it in with his left. Honestly, they are dark. They are the genuine dark horses for me. They definitely feel that they're gonna.
Do we really want to curse them with that dark horse tag?
Well, no, I mean, look,
because people did it with Turkey. And
the Turkey thing's just banter. Like, I didn't mean to say they were dark horses. I got it wrong.
Yeah, right. Give me a break.
But I think, to be fair to Denmark, obviously that whole Christian Eriksen thing has galvanised them, but they are tactically a really astute team. And even though they're lacking up front, I don't think Braithwaite's that good. They're still being able to score goals and churn stuff out, and they're high energy, high press. So fair play to them. I think they'll go as far as they can, and then hopefully if England try and beat Germany, which I'm not sure we will, then then we can overcome them. But now, fair play to them, man.
At least you know, Corey. I think Corey hit the nail on the head. The one thing that's impressing me with Denmark, is the amount of goals that they've scored in the last 2 games. They scored 8 goals in 2 matches, and that's without Eriksen, who's their best offensive talent, because he scores more goals than their strikers normally. He scores more goals than their strikers.
True, but I mean, Braithwaite, the guy at Barcelona, who knew he would be the weakness in their team?
He's trash.
He's trash.
He actually is. He's so
it's like
bad.
Chipper Montang. I don't know how these brothers get their moves to these big clubs, but I think Barcelona were just desperate. He reminds me of when Chelsea signed like Djilabodji and like Michael Hector.
Oh
from
my
Reading.
God, Happy Djilabodji.
Yeah, just signings that you just know are just complete like just waste of times. Like you may as well just go and pick up free agents from Sunday League. It's not going to work out. It's funny though because Wales started the game well.
They did.
And I said to myself, if they don't take their chances, this is not going to go well. Saj said this as well. If they don't take their chances, it's going to be a problem because Bale missed a good opportunity as well. Really, well, he just flashed it just past wide, but he really should have hit the target with the amount of space he had. Missed a header as well later on in the game, and then suddenly Denmark just grew into the game, and then click of a finger, they just took over, and they just never looked back. Goldberg was very clinical. His first goal was really good finish, really good finish,
really good. And he's not someone I rate as well, but he took that goal very well. Denmark, you know what is the base has always been good for Denmark. The defense. From time they've got Joachim Andersen on the bench, it tells you that they got options. Timon Kjær, he's not even a centre back who I rate highly, but he's performed admirably this tournament. He's been excellent. Christensen, we've spoken about Christensen, his evolution. Like he just keeps getting better and better. Even really Vestergaard, who's coming, who you know me, I think he's overhyped, but he's done all right for them as well. And then their wing backs are impressing me as well. What's my man's name? Marlowe, or whatever his name is. He's been really good. And then my man as well, Damsgaard. I saw him against Belgium. I was thinking, who is this guy? Like he looked good. And then that goal he scored against Russia. Oh my goodness! Like they've got some players who have really stepped up. And then of course, my Danish king in the middle, my Danish warrior. Talk to me about Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. He's having a really good tournament. He's having a really good tournament for Denmark, and nobody's saying anything.
Well, he had a great start to the season at Tottenham. Then it kind of like fizzled out a little bit. But
he had a good season at Spurs, though.
He had a good season for what you paid and for what we was wasn't expecting too much. You know, he wasn't kicking down any trees, and then suddenly comes to Tottenham and he's looking like one of the best DMs in the league. So. Yeah, I have been impressed with really the whole team, and I think I'm just looking at the route to the final now. Obviously, they've beaten Wales. They will play the winners of Holland and Czech Republic, which is on tonight, I believe.
I think Holland will dust Czech Republic tonight, and I think Holland will beat Denmark. I don't think Denmark will roll over, but I think Holland will beat them, man. I think Holland have more in their locker to unlock that Danish defense.
Yeah, and then was Holland. Do you know what's funny? Holland could have a really good tournament. They're in the good side of the draw, I'd say, with who you've got here. Round of 16: Sweden, Ukraine, England, Germany, Holland, Czech Republic, and obviously now Denmark with Wales out. It'll be interesting to see, obviously, England, Germany on Tuesday. Before we move on to tonight's fixtures, what's everybody's confidence level saying about that? Corey, how you feeling?
I'm a bit sketchy, mate. Like, to be fair, when you look at the group stage, we didn't pull up any trees. Again, it was super conservative in every game. And I don't really prescribe to this idea that we should be ultra positive about it. I'm not seeing anything from England that's making me feel really confident. But having said all of that, I think there are vulnerabilities in that Germany side. I think Portugal kind of laid down a little bit with the wing backs and obviously they got their result there. But then you look at England, some of the players we can hit them on transition. Saka had a brilliant game last time out. Sterling possibly as well. And you look at their high line. But you need to get Harry. This is the big thing. If Harry Kane, if we can just get him further up the pitch between those centre backs where they're going to get exploited, we've got a chance. And if we can get to 1-0, maybe. But on paper, I just feel like every other side that I've seen is better coached than England. Like, for me, it just feels like we're so disjointed. It's quite frustrating.
Bro, you've hit the nail on the head. Like, I'm seeing Macedonia have better patterns of play than England. I'm seeing Macedonia passing through lines. Macedonia.
This is the thing. It's all right for Gareth Southgate to say, I'm trying to galvanise the country, and I appreciate it, right? It has got me back into England a little bit. But when you get to this tournament with the level of players that you've got to have more than just kind of galvanising and a positive attitude. You've got to have genuinely some kind of tactic. And I just feel that Joachim Low, as poor as he has been, and as poor as Germany have been going into the tournament, they could pull off a masterclass. We might not be able to get near Kroos, or Gundogan may run in behind. And and then he'll be so frustrating if we go out, because if we go out, he's got to go. For me,
but do you know what's funny? They're already talking about a new contract for him before the performance against Germany, which just goes to show once again there were no expectations or standards or minimum thresholds of achievements or performance before you get. There's no reward to getting a new contract. You're just getting a new contract because it's expiring.
Who's in charge of the FA to think that that's the level that England can be at? This is what I mean. I don't think there's enough football people in the FA to sit there and say, actually, we want to play a different way. We want to be like this, to actually have an identity. If we waste this generation again, because we've seen the golden generation come, then honestly, I sort of rinse my hands.
I've already started looking into what other nationalities will take me. To be honest, I'm looking to make a transfer.
might go live somewhere and get another passport.
I'm open to it. I'm open to discussions, people. You know what I mean? I'm open to talks.
I'm looking. I want to see the best sides possible, and I really like Germany. So I wouldn't even lie. If Germany win that game, I'll have a smile on my face. But
you're just an evil guy, innit?
No, it's not. I'm an evil guy, because it would be the same way if Germany were playing France, if Germany were playing Sweden. I would say the same thing. It's nothing against England. I just like Germany. I'm indifferent on England. I've told you this already. If England win, cool. I'm happy for the nation. I'm happy for Kane, etc., etc.
But bro, don't you just want a big party in London, bro? If we
that's what I'm saying. The atmosphere will be jumpy. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the positive. But like, I'm not gonna tie myself down to England, because it's years and years of disappointment. I've been there, done that. Bought the matching hat and jacket. So I don't need to do that anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't care. So I just want to see England play well on Tuesday, because as good as Germany are, as good as much, and I expect Germany to win the game, to be honest. I think it'll be a close game that I expect Germany to win. But as good as Germany can be, England on paper have a squad that should be able to compete with Germany and can easily beat, maybe not easily, but can beat Germany. Yeah. I just think England, they need to play a braver brand of football, because one thing we know about this German team, they're going to dominate possession. They're going to try and put as many players in England's half as possible. They leave their defense exposed, because that's by design. That's the nature of their game. Commit as many players forward and keep as much of the ball as possible. But we saw, like you said, with Portugal, the minute they get exposed in transition, it's Rap City. So for me, I think you want to see an England side who are brave in possession, who can pass through the lines and pass quickly. No side to side, no static play. Pass quickly and pass sharply.
Look at the way Italy play. You know?
Yeah. You want to see players like Bukayo Saka, who can go past players, because it's rare. In a team where everything is just so, like someone said it in the comments, it's too static. In a team like England, where everything is so slow, pedantic, ponderous, you want players who are just off the cuff, that can just say, you know what, as soon as I get this ball, I'm running at you. I can go at you. And I think Bukayo Saka will be perfect to play against that Germany defense, because he will run at Goossens, he will run at Rudiger, he will run at whoever.
Goossens is weak defensively, so I would hope for that. But there's rumors saying that Foden and Mason Mount will come back into the team. So then
I don't think Foden should start. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind Mason Mount. I'm not too mad at, because Mason Mount, I know he's not had a good tournament, but listen, like, I think he's one of them ones where, like, you see the quality,
experience.
You see the quality. Do you get what I'm saying? But I don't think Foden should start. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he should start. I think Bukayo Saka should start. But I just want to see England play well for once. It's a big game. You're in the knockout stages, round of 16. You have quality players at your disposal. Play to your damn level. I'm sick to death of watching England and falling asleep. Do you know
every game I've fallen asleep. Damn. Every single game.
That second half against Czech Republic.
Bro, two shots on target. I mean, 2 shots, 0 on target, 0 big chances created against Czech Republic. I couldn't even name you a single Czech Republic defender apart from Kufal.
Top player. Not surprised.
He is a top player. You're right. I think he's it's now at a point where I think he's underrated criminally. But it's England. You've got Jadon Sancho, Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Jack
Foden.
Stop telling me that I have to watch this fucking boring football and that this is the best England can be, because it's not. Yeah, it really isn't.
It's embarrassing actually how bad they are, considering the talent they actually have going forward. Going forward is meant to be their strength. Defensively is where I was expecting to see issues. Right now, England haven't conceded a goal. Kevin says, is it possible Christensen could continue the journey? I think, like I said, I think Holland versus Czech Republic, obviously at 5 p.m. will be, if there's a shock, because Austria nearly got through against Italy. So I don't want to even make an assumption that anybody can get past anybody at this point with Austria taking Italy to extra time. If there was a shock there, then that would line up very nicely for Denmark. But, Holland for me are that tier below the favourites in the tournament. They've got Ronaldo, they've got a very, very good midfield. But I don't see them as a top team yet. They've still got a way to go. So I think there are cracks that Denmark can get into and they can exploit if they play at their best. So I think it'll be an interesting matchup if they do come up against each other. I would love Denmark to go as far as possible, to be honest. It would just be a nice story to see. Denmark has Barca's number 9. Yeah, usually under the usual circumstances, you'd think that'd be a good thing. But yeah, I think. Listen, I think when it comes to England, I think the sooner they sack this manager, the better in terms of where they're going. But I don't think it will happen. I really don't.
They won't prosper. It's a shame. It's a shame. They actually won't prosper.
No. It's funny because if you look at the record of Pep going to being at Barca and then they win the World Cup, go to Germany, they win the World Cup. There seems to be a little correlation in terms of, style of play, potentially technical players coming through, whatever you have not. Obviously, there's other things that come into it with the under 21s and whatnot. But England now have got more technical players than they've had for a while since that golden generation, because we went through a patch where we had like Aaron Lennon and Walcott and Danny Welbeck and Tom Huddleston, all these guys. Now we've gone through that patch to a patch where the players are really technical again going forward. And we haven't capitalized it from a manager standpoint to actually be serious, which is a shame.
I'm begging you, just throw money at him. Just throw money at some like top class. I'm begging you. I would love, because even when we had the golden generation, we had Sven in charge. Playing 4-4-2 with Scholes at left midfield.
Yeah,
it's actually wrong. Like that's the way. Some countries have got a problem where they haven't got enough talent, but England always seem to have enough talent. Just can't get it to gel with the right manager. Got to move on, mate.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, but we'll see. England need a deep line playmaker to get the best out of these players. Other than that, the build-up play will continue to be trash. I think the closest you're going to get to that in this current squad is probably Calvin Phillips at Leeds. That's not really Declan Rice's role at West Ham. His role is more to just shield the defence and let Souček bomb forward and be the airtight midfielder.
I'll say
Calvin Phillips. Yeah.
Go on.
No, yeah, I was about to wrap up. I think Calvin Phillips would have to be your guy for that.
I was saying this to KG on his stream just earlier on. Like, he thinks that it's Gareth Southgate that's probably behind Calvin Phillips playing this weird side-to-side game. I think it's a bit of both. I just think for whatever reason he needs to up the levels, man. Like he's a player capable of passing through the lines, and he does it much better than Declan Rice. But yet, when I watched him against Czech Republic, it was just too ponderous, man. Yeah. Like you have the ability to pass. Like he's a good passer of the ball, and he needs to show it. And it's the case for a lot of the England players. Harry Kane, my thoughts on the service. My thoughts on the lack of service that he's had, but he knows himself that he's not played well. He was awful against Croatia, and he was who was the second game that England had? Scotland.
Scotland.
He was awful against Scotland as well. So he needs to pull his finger out and play to the level that he's capable of. Because service or no service, you are literally the best player in England, and you need to offer more. He does. It's a fact.
No, he does.
But the same can be said for a couple other England players as well. I want to see more from the fullbacks. I want to see more from the midfield. I want to see more from the wide players. It just needs to be better. And ultimately, like you said, it
all bucks down to the manager, my bro.
Yeah.
Literally. So until he's gone, we can't move forward. But two teams that tonight is looking like it's going to be a mouth-watering fixture after the Holland Czech Republic. I'm kind of excited for all these games now because they're all straight knockouts. So I expect everybody to go for it, regardless of the nation size. In terms of talent, pool of talent, I expect every game to be pretty good now that it's knockouts. But Belgium versus Portugal at 8 p.m. is really the big one, I guess. Ronaldo. Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne. Before we get into it, predictions, gentlemen. Who do you think is going through in this one? Who are you taking?
Should be Belgium, really. I just got a funny feeling Portugal are going to do something. They're just annoying. Like they don't
Ronaldo,
play brilliant. They played a little bit better against France first half. Thought France were well off it. But then other than that, I don't think they've lit the tournament up other than getting those 3 goals last minute against Hungary. So Belgium should really, but I don't think Belgium have been tested either, particularly defensively. Going forward, they're a nightmare. Lukaku's absolutely unbelievable. De Bruyne is in brilliant form as well. Witsel coming back into the side. They keep the ball a lot better. It will be really interesting, but I've just got this feeling that Ronaldo might pop up with something, even if it is a penalty, because I know people give him stick for that, but he might get that penalty and seal the deal. But it's going to be a good game. Fingers crossed anyway.
Chelsea fans are lighting me up because I didn't say Hazard. Let's keep it a buck. Lukaku and De Bruyne are their most important players.
He's struggling, man. He's struggling.
They want me to be this like Hazard messiah, like because Chelsea fans are very emotionally, and I think it's just this generation on social media, like it would have been with Lampard or Drogba. They're very emotionally attached to Hazard. It's the best player they've ever seen in Chelsea's history with their own eyes, etc., etc. But you need to distinguish between being objective with what you're actually seeing now and what he was. And like I said, when I said I didn't want him back at the club this summer because he's not of the level that he used to be, and people lit me up for the same thing. He's not top 2 important player for Belgium right now. It's just not even. It's not. So that's it.
Why are we discussing it? Thorgan Hazard has looked better than the real Eden Hazard at this tournament, for heaven's sake. And Thorgan hasn't even played that well. Like, why are we talking about this fat bum when we got?
Whoa! See, now they're gonna light you up. See, now
let them light me up. I don't let them light me up. I don't care. I don't care. He's been a bum for like 2 seasons now at Real Madrid. It's not an indication of his true quality as a player. But why are we talking about Eden Hazard in a game of this magnitude? Because let's be honest, if Belgium win this match, it's going to be down to 2 players. It's going to be down to Kevin De Bruyne, or it's going to be down to Romelu Lukaku. Simple as. It's that simple. It really is. Let these fucking little virgins in the comments start getting their pussies in the twist and stuff like that. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
You can't not watch that game the other night and tell me that Hazard is anywhere near that level anymore.
It's ridiculous. I don't care.
Toby's taking the lead mantle of gunning for the chat today.
No, I don't care. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Hazard this, Hazard that. He stinks right now. He stinks. And if Belgium are going to win this match, they need Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne to turn up. Of course, they would need him to turn up as well. But he's been a non-entity for the best part of a year now. So why are we talking about him? Yeah. I actually agreed with most of what Corey said, apart from the sneaky. Yeah, in fact, I agreed with all of it. I reckon Ronaldo might score a goal tonight. But I want Belgium to go through because even though they've also not been tested significantly, I think they play better than Portugal. But again, they have a manager who I don't really like. They have a manager who I don't really like in Martinez as well. But I like Kevin De Bruyne. I like Jan Vertonghen, who even though he's dusted right now, I like Alderweireld. I like Lukaku. So yeah, I want them to go through, man. I think Portugal, you saw my thoughts of them early on. Like, I'm tired of this team struggling with the players they have and getting far in these competitions. I'm tired of it. Like that guy said in Love Island, I think it's Mike or whatever. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of watching struggle ball when you have talented players. It's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. It's just not on.
I lost my composure there because the chat are just
let them go. I don't care about these losers, man. I don't care.
Oh my god! But yeah, I think when it comes to Belgium, their weakness is their defense. We've spoken about it before. Portugal, they look like there's a lot of talented individuals, but I'm yet to really see like a real good team yet, in my opinion. From what I'm seeing, it's just you got Bruno Fernandes, who is playing a lot deeper at times. He's still trying to get forward, but he is naturally deeper in this team. He's not on penalties as well. He's not looking the same. He came off the bench the other day. I think they stuck him out on the wing. Renato Sanches is looking very good, but like you said earlier, he continues to play these really stagnant DMs like William Carvalho, who just don't have the flair to open up a team. Ronaldo is really, I don't want to say carrying, because in general play, Ronaldo is not carrying them, but obviously stats-wise he is. But I don't know, man. I would like Belgium to go through, personally. I just think they're just more fun to watch. I prefer watching Belgium than I would Portugal right now, especially when you've got Kevin De Bruyne on the form that he's on as well. Him and Lukaku, that partnership is looking lethal. like really lethal. And I don't know if you guys have seen Lukaku. He did like a Q&A out on Twitter the other day, but he seems really serious as well about trying to prove people wrong, because people have been, their assumptions on Lukaku for time has been, pace and power, bad touch, poor technical ability, can't do this, can't do that. But like we've been saying, he's refined his game at Inter Milan for the last few seasons now. He's been putting up amazing numbers, and just in general, he's been playing very well. And now he seems to be coming into his prime and coming to the fore now in this tournament. So I'm excited for this game. I think it's probably going to be one of the games of the round. But you guys are both going with Belgium then to go through? Corey.
I went Portugal, mate. I just got this feeling, but I do want to see on the Lukaku point. He has actually really impressed me, because I haven't watched a lot of him, to be fair, in Serie A, and then I've seen him in this tournament, and his all-round game's improved. Everything, we know he's good as well at turning players, and I wonder whether Diaz, who has struggled a little bit in this tournament with physical guys getting up against him, is he going to go and turn him and cause him some issues? But with that being said, I think Portugal will nick it. I've got a feeling. I don't know why. It's so jammy. Like, it won't even be a good performance.
It will be a penalty watch. It will be like a last minute penalty. Ronaldo will come and take it.
Look at the other night. They got a pen, which I was a bit like, oh, okay. Oh, they get 2 penalties the other night, Portugal. So
yeah. 2 penalties, I believe.
Yeah, they're so jammy like that. So you can't even dismiss what Corey said, because it could happen. We've seen it happen annoyingly in the past for them as well, but. Roy Keane, wow, these Chelsea people don't really like me. I love it. I like being a Chelsea pariah. It's all love, lads. Don't get your
we're not even in the Premier League season. You're already going for Chelsea. I'm looking forward to the new season now. We need to do our transfer business, so you can't chat to us again. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is? I think it's Belgium's weakness is where Portugal's strengths will excel, which is Portugal. They have that threat in transition. They have players who can kill Belgium in transition. And when you have a back three of Jan Vertonghen, Denea, and Alderweireld, you're asking for a bruising. You're literally asking for a bruising. And the wing backs as well, Meunier, he can be got at as well. And then on the left-hand side, whether it's Chadli, whether it's Thorgan Hazard, it doesn't matter who they play. Like, I think Portugal have enough in their attack to cause Belgium's weak defense problems. But
are we going to see anything of João Felix in this tournament?
I forgot about him.
He was injured, wasn't he? He was injured. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought he was.
I'm not sure if he's fit now, but I remember against Germany, he was injured. But I think, Witsel coming back into the team definitely helps Belgium out in the midfield. Helps Tielemans a lot because Dendoncker is just not as good at keeping the ball and passing the ball as well as Witsel. And I think the attack is the attack. It speaks for itself. So I want Belgium to win this game. But like Corey said, there could be a sting in the tail. But I'm going for a Belgium win.
It will be an interesting one. I think when it comes to this game, I think it will be defined again, like you said, by the two defenses. Like you said, Ruben Diaz, like Corey said, he's been not the Ruben Diaz we've been used to.
And Lukaku will steamroll him if he's not.
Yeah. If he turns up like that, Lukaku's going to absolutely turn him. Do you know what I mean? He's just going to I'm actually worried for Diaz. I'm not going to lie. Physically, I think it could be a long night for him there. I think that's where the game will be defined. And obviously, Belgium's defense is a bit lackluster as well. It will all depend. I don't know if Bruno Fernandes will start. He didn't start the last game. I don't know if that's something to look at going forward, or if that was just, I don't know, if that was just rotation. So it'll be an interesting one, but we'll see. We'll see, people. I'm still looking at the chat. Monster saying Toby gel off Lukaku. You've really wound up. You know how to get a crowd going, don't you, Toby?
I do. I need to get Monster on the stream. I wanna mud him.
You should steamroll into our Oil Boys one. I feel like your energy would be good in there.
When's the next Oil Boys stream?
I don't know actually, because it could. I need to speak to the boys. It should be Tuesday night, but because England and Germany are playing, I don't know. I might do a video that night, so maybe Monday night I'll speak to the boys and see what's cooking. I don't know because there's games on every night. These Euro fixtures are shagging YouTubers left, right, and center with these late night kickoffs, and then it finishes at 10, and it's long. But You know what I mean? Maybe just like Toby, just go on the Don Robbie channel, fam. If you can't beat them, join them. Fam, I'm waiting for my invite, brothers. You know, you all got my number.
Okay, cool. Let me tell Robbie then, because I think
I'm in
Robbie
London,
had
innit?
you before.
But to be honest, I think obviously Aaron reps Germany, Saeed reps Denmark. Like, I don't know who I'll be repping, innit? I'll be repping.
I don't rep anyone, to be honest. I just rep.
You don't rep anyone. As long as there's popcorn and beer, I'll be there, innit? I'll be there. So yeah. People, we're gonna wrap up now. Really, the games tonight speak for themselves. That's all that we have to look forward to. There's no transfer news from a Chelsea perspective. Like I said, Hakimi's gone to PSG. Club has not really moved forward with anything else. I'm not talking about Adama Traore again because I really don't want to sign him. And yeah, the search for a new manager for Tottenham continues as well. Hopefully it'll be Nuno because I just want to see it wrapped up now so I can do my skit. And Corey, I don't know what's going on from West Ham's point of view, but I need you guys to be semi-competitive in the market. So you
come on, bro. Give us some time. When the season ticket, I'll sign up for my season ticket a couple of days' time. So hopefully the club will start to move when they've got all our money in their bank account and get someone loan to buy. Probably Eddie and Nketiah will be on the list.
Jesus Christ.
It's a loan to buy for Eddie and Nketiah will happen. I guarantee it's such a West Ham move. It'll be horrible. But
it'll be an Nketiah. Jesus, let's not do
that.
Mate. Yeah, let's not do that. Someone said speak about Italy, but yeah, we brushed up on Italy slightly, but I think in the end that game was just about quality teams. Well, a quality team just eventually getting there in the end, but they weren't. That was probably the worst Italy performance I've seen so far in this tournament. Actually, it was definitely. I
heard Austria because I didn't watch it. I heard Austria played really well.
They were really, really good. Really good.
Top, weren't they? They were pressing them all over the pitch. There was energy all over them. They were struggling, weren't they? They lost their rhythm second half, Italy. It was only because they brought on Chiesa, who scored that goal.
Great goal. Such a difficult touch. And then he managed to bring it back onto his left foot just put his foot through the ball. And it needed something like that because the other, I can't remember who was up front there on that right wing, but he had an awful game.
Berardi was absolutely
he was
horrendous.
Shocking game from him. I don't even know why he started ahead of Chiesa, but
he had a sick season. But this is my problem with Berardi. Like I watched him against Turkey, and I said the same thing. Like he's one of them good but not good players. Like he's good. When he's on it, but my goodness, like he knows how to stink out a joint. He really does.
Yeah. I just think with Italy, the final third in terms of their finishing, obviously they've got Insigne, they've got Belotti that came off the bench as well, but they're just missing that world-class top striker. I know Immobile does get goals in Serie A, but I'm just talking about a proper elite gunman who just cannot be stopped. Like a Lukaku. That's just what they're kind of missing as a focal point. But apart from that, it's just maybe just an off day, which they're well in their right to have. They've been by far the best team in the tournament. So they managed to get there in the end. But yeah, that was about it, people. So like I said, next week we'll be back with Lee. We'll know if what happened. The fate of England will be decided by then as well. You could see Toby's head poking in on an Oil Boys coming to you soon. Who knows if he wants to do some rattling? I don't
think some of the people in the comments want me there because they know I'm gonna get onto them again.
Saj as well. I feel like you and Saj definitely will be rattling each other there a lot as well.
Why not, man? The thing is, people can banter me. Yesterday I was on the Don Robbie show and all they kept talking about was Spurs and Kane. So if I can get bantered, why can't I banter other people?
Of course. You put yourself in a difficult position being a Tottenham fan, but you can try.
People think they can get onto me for being a Spurs fan, saying something about Spurs, but when I give it back, they're getting in their feelings.
Oh my God. It's true. Go for it. Give it your best shot. That's all I'll say, innit? I'm not even going to bother asking these brothers what they got coming out because I know they've been hit on a hiatus on their channels for the longest. I'm assuming that's still going on. I know Toby uploaded a stream the other day with Farad. Speaking of Farad, him and Culture Cams, the little thing that the little segment they did on ESPN,
they're quality. I swear to God,
they're
hilarious. Absolutely,
the vibe,
hilarious.
The vibe that they got going on over there, and obviously Maya as well, the whole 360 TV boys, great stuff, man. That was such a good skit on Instagram that I seen there. So shout out to them, man. And like I said, links are in the description as always to West Ham Way and TapinTobs as well. Go and subscribe down there. Even though Toby just told most of you to screw yourselves. Go down there for more content. And if you want to check out any content I've done, I did a video on Christensen last night which probably a lot of you UK viewers would not have got because I uploaded at like 2 a.m. just to bless up the Canadians and the Americans for once, just test out the algorithm. So if you want to see that, Victor, I'm sure, will put in a link for that last video in the chat soon. And yeah, Christensen just did a whole video on him, bigged him up. It was just a normal video. It was about 13 minutes long. Me and Sajad are back and forth. So if you missed the videos back in the day, then you got that vibe. You got the video vibe back. So apart from that, people, I will see you tomorrow morning for the roundabout. And I
was about to ask, is the roundabout coming back?
It's coming back. Do you know what it is? Yeah,
when's the Crouching Tiger video of you and Dami coming back?
No, that's not coming back.
Why not?
He wants to do that again, and I folded. I was like, no, I'm not doing it again. I'm not.
Why not? Because you lot will get panned on.
He wants to do it after the Champions League win or something. I was like, I'm not doing it. No, I was like, I don't like repeating things. I've moved on. Do you know what I mean? That was a one-time thing. It happened. It's done. But yeah, we had an issue with the light because we filmed really early in the morning with the roundabouts. We had a light that we usually use on top of the camera, and then we lost the charger. We can't find the charger for it, so we have to order a new one. But it's coming back. It's coming back tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to it because I need to catch up on what happened with the Grand Prix and obviously a Euro roundup and all that good stuff. So we're going to get into that, people. So yeah, bless up yourselves. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out everybody's channels. It's in the chat now. And yeah, I will see you, man, in a bit. Peace, people.
Late.